कोई सरकार या एजेंसी चाहे तो थोड़ी सी कीमत देकर इंटरनेट की मदद से आपकी जासूसी कर सकती है, और अगर कोई जराइम पेशा चाहे तो कुछ डॉलर्स चुकाकर आपके बैंक्स में रखा सारा पैसा लूट सकता है। डाटा हमें कोल्ड वॉर के वक्त से कोड वॉर के वक्त में ले आया है। इंसान मखलूकों में किसी भी जानवर से इसलिए खास है क्योंकि हमारे दिमाग के पास डेटा स्टोर करने की और इसका तज्जिया करने की कुदरती सलाहियत है, लेकिन इंटरनेट और कंप्यूटर की ताकत के आगे हमारी ये सलाहियत कमजोर पड़ रही है।
ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग, रेस्टोरेंट, पेट्रोल पंप और एटीएम, अगर इनमें से किसी भी जगह आप अपने डेबिट या क्रेडिट कार्ड का इस्तेमाल करते हैं तो जरा होशियार हो जाएं। जो मुल्क के 12 लाख कार्ड्स होल्डरों के साथ हुआ है वो आपके साथ भी हो सकता है।
आपका नंबर उन कार्ड नंबर्स में से है जो वहाँ सेल पर है डार्कनेट पर, तो आपके लिए समस्याओं का एक भंडार सा शुरू होने वाला है। क्यों? क्योंकि जब वो दुरुपयोग होगा तो वो चपत आपको लगेगी, आप जरूर शिकायत करेंगे। हो सकता है बैंक आनाकानी करे, हो सकता है पैसा मिले या ना मिले, लेकिन एक बात सुनिश्चित है कि आपकी सिरदर्दी और आपकी हैरेसमेंट बहुत बढ़ जाने वाली है। तो कहीं ना कहीं इस पूरी खबर को हम एक वेकअप कॉल के स्वरूप में लें।
अगर आप किसी बैंक के ग्राहक हैं और डेबिट या क्रेडिट कार्ड का इस्तेमाल करते हैं तो हो सकता है कि आप उन 12 लाख लोगों में शामिल हों जिनके डेटा साइबर हैकर्स ने चुरा लिए हैं, और अंदेशा है कि अब तक आपके कार्ड की सारी जानकारी इंटरनेट पर बेच दी गई हो। यानी हो सकता है आपका बैंक अकाउंट में हजारों रुपए जमा हो और आपके क्रेडिट कार्ड की लिमिट लाखों रुपए हो, लेकिन अब कोई और आपके कार्ड से पैसे निकाल सकता है, और जब आपको इसका पता लगेगा तब तक देर हो चुकी होगी।
सबसे पहले ये समझिए कि जो कार्ड आपके पास है इसमें 2 अलग अलग प्रकार की डिटेल्स होती हैं। पहले कार्ड की डिटेल, जो पहला जो डिटेल होता है टीयर 1 डिटेल। टीयर 1 डिटेल कार्ड का वो कहा जाता है जिसमें कार्ड का जो नंबर होता है, जिसमें अंकित होता है आपका नाम, सीवीवी नंबर, वो चीज़ें जो कार्ड पर विजिबल होती हैं ऊपर, आगे की तरफ या पीछे की तरफ। और दूसरा होता है टीयर 2 डिटेल्स, जो कि ज़्यादा अहम, और वो अगर किसी के हाथ लग जाए तो वो बेहद ख़तरनाक होती है। टीयर 2 डिटेल्स जो कार्ड की होती हैं वो इस मैग्नेटिक स्ट्रिप के नीचे छुपी होती हैं, उसको एन्क्रिप्ट करके यहाँ रखा जाता है, और जिस वक्त ये कार्ड आपको मिलता है उस वक्त तमाम आपकी इन्फॉर्मेशन, जिसमें आपका नाम, आपका पता, आपका डेट ऑफ बर्थ और तमाम ऐसी पर्सनल इन्फॉर्मेशन इसमें छुपी हुई होती है जो आपके अलावा और कोई नहीं जानता। हैकर्स की निगाह इसी डिटेल पे होती है। दरअसल जब आपका कार्ड हैक किया जाता है, आपके कार्ड की टीयर 2 डिटेल्स हैक की जाती हैं, तो ये सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन चुरा ली जाती हैं, और उसके बाद उनके पास जो क्लोन्ड कार्ड होता है, उस क्लोन्ड कार्ड में आपकी ये पूरी की पूरी डिटेल जो इस मैग्नेटिक स्ट्रिप के नीचे छुपी हुई है उसको कॉपी करके वहाँ पेस्ट कर दिया जाता है। यानी कि ये जो कार्ड आपके पास है, आइडेंटिकल हूबहू ऐसा ही कार्ड आपकी तमाम उस पर्सनल इन्फॉर्मेशन के साथ उनके पास भी पहुंच जाती है, और एक ऐसा ही कार्ड उनके पास भी मौजूद रहता है।
पहले भी भारत में डिजिटल पेमेंट सिस्टम हादसे का इलाका रहा है, जहां आए दिन लोगों को ऑनलाइन धोखाधड़ी वाली चोटें लगती रहती हैं, और इस बार मुल्क के बैंकिंग सिस्टम की तारीख में एक साथ 12 लाख लोगों पर धोखाधड़ी से जख्मी होने का खतरा मंडरा रहा है। यानी ये साल 2019 की सबसे बड़ी साइबर चोरी है। यह खबर चौंकाने वाली नहीं बल्कि डराने वाली भी है। आप
और सीधे रुक करेंगे इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस का। चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर सुनील अरोड़ा इससे खिताब कर रहे हैं। अभी
Instead of reading the press note of 25 pages, we'll give the highlights of 3-4 pages so that you can ask more questions. The results of the second special summary revision of poll with January 1, 2019 as a qualifying date was published on 12th October 2019. The coverage of both photo electoral roll and EPIC, that is election photo identity card in Jharkhand, has been 100%. An ECI team led by Shri Sudeep Jain, Deputy Election Commissioner, who is in charge of Jharkhand amongst other states, along with some colleagues, they visited Jharkhand on 17th and 18th October to take stock of poll preparedness in the state. The team met all the political parties before reviewing poll preparedness with the CEO, State Police Nodal Officer, Divisional Commissioners, IGs, DEOs and SPs. They also had a meeting with Chief Secretary, Home Secretary and DGP. Subsequently, CEO of Jharkhand, DGP in Jharkhand and Special Police Nodal Officer were called here for a review meeting by the officials. But we asked them to let them stay back for a day. And next day in the commission also, we talked to the DGP, the State Police Nodal Officer and the CEO. Incidentally, as a commission, we had visited Jharkhand for 2 days during the Lok Sabha election period. From there only we had gone to West Bengal. And meanwhile, Shri Umesh Sinha has been having his regular meetings, as he always does, with the Ministry of Home Affairs people, Defence, Railways, to discuss the quantum of deployment, mobilization of CAPF, and requirements of helicopters in the state of Jharkhand. Adequate personnel for Central Armed Forces are being deployed for security during the election process so that registered voters from all sections of society can exercise their franchise without fear. Special security arrangements will be in place for left-wing extremism affected areas. By the way, out of the 90 districts in Jharkhand, 19 districts are from left-wing affected areas. 19. Sorry? 19. Out of these 19, 13 districts are supposed to be even worse affected out of these 19. So, even the other districts, almost 61 districts are supposed to be affected, 19 extreme, 13 very extreme, and others also affected. In all, 67 districts get affected.
In the whole country.
Sorry?
In the whole country.
No, I am talking of the assembly constituencies. I am not talking of the districts. First is the districts. This 19 plus 13 makes it 67 assembly constituencies in Jharkhand. These 19 districts and 13 districts make it 67 assembly constituencies of Jharkhand. There is a 20% increase in the number of polling stations when compared to the previous assembly elections in December 14. Previously it was 24648, now it will be 29464. Every polling station will have assured minimum facilities with special provisions for persons with disabilities and senior citizens. So far, 2,09,185 electors belonging to persons with disability category have been identified in the state. Here I must tell you that different states you go, you find different ways they are doing. Many states, the Social Justice Department or the Social Welfare Department, which is normally the nodal department, has carried out its own census based on various parameters. Many states that do it before the elections, and that work is spearheaded by the district election officers. So we have this kind of variation in different states. We are trying to emphasize on all the states that they should have uniform criteria in this direction. The Commission has instructed to ensure that every polling station shall have good access roads leading to polling station buildings and is equipped with the AMFs and is assured minimum facilities like drinking water, waiting shed, toilet with water facility, adequate arrangements for lighting, ramp of appropriate gradient for the PWD electors and a standard voting compartment. The Commission is also directed to issue accessible photo voter slips with braille features to persons with visual impairment or blind over and above the normal voter slips. A voter guide in vernacular as well as English shall be handed over to every household ahead of elections, giving information of various details, websites, helpline numbers, contact details, etc. Identified PWD electors will be assisted by volunteers appointed by the returning officer, district election officer. Special facilitation will be made for PWD electors at polling stations. It has also been directed that differently enabled electors are given priority for entering the polling booths. Proper transport facility, etc., free pass and public transport on poll day in each polling station shall be assured, has already been directed. New initiatives, I just want to share with you and as a report to you that after the Lok Sabha elections, the Commission felt that there should be an amendment in the rules so that the persons with disability can also exercise the right to be given, instead of postal ballot, also they can kind of be sent e-voting. And this is for people with disability as well as for senior citizens. Actually, three categories: persons with disability, senior citizens, and essential services. Those belonging to essential services. This was sent by us to the ministry for amendment in the Conduct of Election Rules 1961 on 22nd October. And we requested them that we would like to provide them facilities of postal ballots for absentee voters, including an elector. And they have now identified all this and they have agreed to our suggestion. The only thing we are not able to do right now is that essential services part we may not be able to do for Jharkhand because a whole SOP needs to be established. But I assure you that by the time of Delhi elections, we will be able to ensure that also. There is a separate note prepared for this. I would request my colleagues that besides the note, main note, this should also be made available. As you always do, we will appoint observers under Section 20B of the Representation of People's Act, and they will be having plenary powers under Article 324 of the Constitution of India. We empower them. By the way, the training of the observers has already been kept tomorrow, and which is why we thought that instead of disturbing you on Saturday, we should kind of do their training on Saturday and your press conference today. As far as the requirement is concerned of EVMs and VVPATs, 0.58 lakh ballot units, 0.38 lakh control units, 0.39 lakh VVPATs are being deployed. In democracy, electors have the right to know about the candidates. So candidates have to fill all the columns in the nomination paper. Their nomination can be rejected if they leave any column blank, despite reminder. Similarly, candidates with criminal antecedents will require to publish information in newspapers and television channels on 3 occasions during the campaign. The model code of conduct is being, the moment this press conference finishes, instruction will go that model code of conduct is in force. In fact, I think they already prepared the papers are just waiting for the press conference to finish. Effective use of IT applications to attend to complaints promptly. Suvidha, you all know about it. and e-Vigil, you all know quite a bit about it now after this Lok Sabha election in Maharashtra and Haryana elections, will be used to kind of ensure transparency and also to expedite the disposal of papers. Illicit use of money, muscle power, alcohol and drugs shall be dealt with quite rigidly. Comprehensive arrangements for GPS-enabled squads, static surveillance teams and checking at border checkposts will be done. All DUs will constitute election expenditure monitoring teams as per ECI instructions. Income tax officials will also be deputed in each and every district for expenditure monitoring. By the way, in the recent elections of Maharashtra and Haryana, we sent the same set of two very, very exceptionally competent officers, Madhuji, retired, and Murliji, who was earlier principal DG of income tax at Chennai and who had done those Arkanagar and all those things. So we sent them to Maharashtra and with good results. As my colleague Sandeep and his team would tell you, this C-Vigil app created by the Election Commission of India has become rather popular with the citizens because now it has become a tool of empowerment for them, and now along with photo and video record facility, a new voice recording facility is also available with C-Vigil. Out of 14,877 cases of MCC violation filed during the recent Maharashtra and Haryana Assembly elections, a total of 98% cases were filed by citizens through C-Vigil. Just see. Notably, about 99% cases filed were disposed of, and almost 81% of the complaints were found to be correct. The Commission hereby solicits the cooperation of all the stakeholders, political parties, media, and of course, the most important, the voters, to ensure conduct of free, fair and transparent elections. I am prepared to take, I'll now give you what you are actually waiting for, the dates. First phase.
How many phases?
5. The same as in 2019 and 14. Phase 1, 13 ACs, date of notification 6th November. Shall I go further? You not heard?
No, sir.
Total 13 phase 1. Date of notification 6th November 2019. Have you heard now?
Yes.
Last date of making nomination 13 November. Date of scrutiny 14 November. Last date of withdrawal 16 November. Date of poll 30th November. Date of counting 23rd December. There were a lot of sensitivities in our mind that in Jharkhand there being a lot of population from the Christian community, we should finish before the Christmas. So now this date of counting 23rd December, this will be common to all the 5 phases, needless to say. Shall I repeat any?
No, sir.
Yes? Neeraj?
No, sir. Fine.
Sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Notification 14 sir.
Sorry?
30th November.
30th November.
13.
30th. 30th.
Notification. Please.
6th November. I'll read out again. But it seems that everybody is not heard properly, or maybe I have not spoken properly. First phase, 13 assemblies, constituencies. Date of issue of notification, 6th November. Last date of making nomination, 13th November. Date of scrutiny, 14th November. Last date of withdrawal, 16th November. Date of poll 30th November. Last date of counting 23rd December. Shall I go to the next phase?
Yes, sir.
Phase 2, 20 assembly constituencies. Date of issue of notification 11th November. Last date of making nomination 18th November. Date of scrutiny 19th November. Last date of withdrawal 21st November. Last date of poll 7th December. And date of counting same 23rd December. Shall I go to next?
Yes, sir.
Third phase. 17 assembly constituencies. Notification 16th November. Last date of making nominations 25th November. Withdrawal 28th November. Date of poll 12th December. Date of poll 12th December and date of counting 23rd December. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Every side? Phase 3. Phase 4. 15 assembly constituencies. Date of notification 22nd November. Last date of making nominations 29th November. Date of scrutiny 30th November. Last date of withdrawal 2nd December. Date of poll 16th December. Date of counting 23rd December. Shall we go to the next?
Fifth and last.
Shall we go to the next?
Yes, sir.
I think there's a problem here.
Which one? Sir, fourth is
Sorry?
fourth phase कितनी AC है sir?
15. It's okay? Fifth. 16 ACs. Date of issue of notification 26th November. Last date of making nomination 3rd December. Date of scrutiny 4th December. Last date of withdrawal 6th December. Date of poll 20th December. 20. Date of counting same 23rd December. In any case, you'll have not only the dates, but you'll have the number of ACs, everything with you on WhatsApp, right?
तो झारखंड के लिए असेंबली इंतखाबात का ऐलान कर दिया है इलेक्शन कमीशन ने। चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर सुनील अरोड़ा ने इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के जरिए अभी ये तमाम ऐलानात किए हैं। 5 मरहलों में झारखंड में 81 सीटों के लिए असेंबली इंतखाबात मुकम्मल कराए जाएंगे। पहले मरहले की वोटिंग 30 नवंबर को होगी और 5 मरहलों में कुल मिलाकर झारखंड असेंबली इलेक्शंस मुकम्मल किए जाएंगे। बेहद हसास रियासत है। 30 नवंबर को पहले मरहले की वोटिंग होगी, 7 दिसंबर को दूसरे मरहले के लिए वोटिंग होगी सूबे में और इसके अलावा 3 और मरहलों में वोटिंग मुकम्मल की जाएगी। कुल 81 सीटें हैं झारखंड असेंबली में। 81 सीटों के लिए वोटिंग होगी। 5 मरहलों में इंतखाबात होंगे। अक्सरियत के लिए 41 सीटें हासिल करना जरूरी है। फिलहाल झारखंड में भारतीय जनता पार्टी और आजसू के इत्तेहाद की सरकार है। अब देखना दिलचस्प होगा कि इस बार असेंबली इंतखाबात में कौन किस पर भारी पड़ता है। 12 दिसंबर को तीसरे मरहले की वोटिंग होगी, 16 दिसंबर को चौथे मरहले के लिए वोटिंग होगी और 20 दिसंबर को 5वें मरहले के लिए वोटिंग होगी झारखंड में और 23 दिसंबर को सभी सीटों के नताइज सामने आ जाएंगे। 81 असेंबली सीटों के लिए वोटिंग होगी झारखंड में और आखिरकार इलेक्शन कमीशन ने अपनी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के जरिए इंतखाबात का ऐलान कर दिया है।